Soviets had hoped to establish a road bridge across the ice using the shortest route. But this would put convoys within range of the German artillery batteries on the southern shore. Slowly, the ice thickened. On the 20th of November, across 180 millimeters of ice, the first horse-drawn sleighs crossed the lake. 2 days later, the first trucks crossed. It was a perilous crossing. The 2-ton vehicles carried much less than their full load. But several still crashed through the ice, disappearing into the frozen depths. Drivers stood on their running boards, ready to leap clear if the ice began to crack. On their return journey, the same trucks were used to evacuate as many civilians as possible. The road of life was 30 kilometers long. It included garages, rest stops, and field hospitals. There were several alternative routes, depending on the ice and driving conditions. To defend the road, 2 defensive lines were constructed on top of the ice, 8 kilometers from the German-held shore. They included machine gun nests and ice trenches. The road was also protected by anti-aircraft guns and air cover. But German bombs and shells still claimed many victims. In the first week alone, 52 trucks were lost. Despite these extraordinary efforts to keep the city supplied and to get the civilians out, 53,000 Leningraders died in December, most from starvation. There were reports of people dropping dead in the street without warning. Each day, burial detachments had to remove 100 corpses from Leningrad's pavements. The diary of one Leningrader recorded how despair gave way to apathy. People now die in a very simple manner. First, they lose interest in everything. Then they lie in bed and never rise again. They die as if falling asleep, and the surrounding people, half dead themselves, pay them no attention. Many drivers on the road of life made 2 trips every day, one by day, one by night. Dozens of trucks were wrecked in traffic accidents, more than were destroyed by German aircraft. So the order was given for vehicles to start using their headlights. Trucks that crashed through the ice sank so fast that for several minutes, the ghostly glow of their headlights could be seen at the bottom of the lake. Almost 300 trucks were lost in the first month of the road. But they had kept the city alive. Hundreds of thousands perished from starvation in that first winter. The scale of the suffering was almost beyond imagination. More than 1 million would die before this, the most devastating siege in history, was finally over. The rumble of guns receded into the distance. At long last, silence descended over the city of Leningrad. According to official reports, 642,000 civilians died during the siege of Leningrad. But many deaths never made it into an official report. The real total was probably nearer 1 million. 3% were caused by bombs and shells, 97% by starvation. About 1.8 million people were evacuated from Leningrad during the war. By 1945, the city's population was just 1/5 of what it had been at the start of the war. This was the longest siege of a large city in World War II, and the costliest siege in history.